So, the Crack in the Cosmic Egg book review. Let's get into this. So, what's in it for you, really? What kind of takeaways is there, and what's the general kind of shortcut of you reading this book, right? So, you got the Crack in the Cosmic Egg, new constructs of mind and reality. We got Joseph Chilton and Pearce, right? So, the main kind of thing here, if I'm going to fast track it for you, is Judge Justin Pearce. He could do things that maybe most people go, what the hell could that be? Is burning a cigarette onto his eyelids, nothing happening, right? Didn't feel it. Then I think is the 2 encounters with Jesus and a few other things. Okay, so then he got interested. Hey, what are these other people being able to do? Oh yeah, there's these Indians that can walk on fire, but they don't burn themselves, and they did these tests, and how is it physically possible that there's no wound, there's no nothing? Then some people go on it and they get burnt. Oh, how come that? Then a person like a psychologist gets onto the fire with them. So with who? Who are you talking about, Kevin? Yes, context is everything. So basically, one of the people part of the tribe, they'd offered up a basically trial or like a study, which was that they were going to test them on different things. It could be fasting, it could be were they taking drugs, were they taking these things to get these results that like mimic that they couldn't get this pain. So psychologists and the people that were testing them was really curious. So then he's walking over this fire, the Indian guy, and then he goes to one of the psychologists who's like absolutely dumbfounded from this. Okay, he grabs his hand, says, "Come here." So to go walk, and he's walking over the fire with the guy, right? That's American, and he goes, "They're walking. Nothing happened to him. Nothing happens to the American, right? Or the psychologist." And the book goes kind of this logical universe that we live in, and the possibilities of what can happen, and where we reside in a dominant place to be in this Western culture of thought and possibility. Okay, and then the book goes on to basically layer like a cake the different kind of stories, different people throughout history. Like we got Don Juan, we got Jesus, we got the Carlos who worked under Don Juan, who was mentored basically under him, or I wouldn't say prestigiaire, it would be Anis. Doesn't matter. Anis, later in the book, throughout like layering the cake, on the very latter end, I do find that's where everything does come together nicely. I don't want to kind of spoil things. It's a sense of, right, see all this stuff that I've experienced, then other people have experienced, and then that inviting you on a journey of, yeah, there's this thing, and this thing that we need to break away from, which is this egg that we live in of thought, of possibility, right? Then to kind of give it to you, just think about a time of which in your life that you've been in this thing, you kind of balled up in this experience that you had, and it cracked this new reality, right? It could have been an investment you made. It could have been an experience that you had. It could have been an experience on drugs that you had. It could have been someone broke up with you. It could have been you broke up with someone. It broke your heart. It broke your world. It could have been that you got to know this, person's work, and you were really into it, and then it made you go to these different levels of being that you didn't know existed. So this old self of you died off. So that was the original egg. Then the internal pressure built up and cracked this egg. And now you've a new kind of egg or worldview, so to say. So one of the biggest notes about this was worldview. Okay, so this logical lens and statistical brain of logic, okay, being the number one bias of the most important intellect, okay? And, there's multiple intelligences, like 9 or 12, I'm pretty sure. And it's like that one's the one that's like, yeah, man. If you got the numbers, he got the thing. He's smart, dude. Okay. But then it's like in this book, you really see like, getting played on that instrument. Okay. Really is a limiting and constriction and a contraction experience of the possibilities of which you can live life. And the book really does lay that lens out of, see how this is where it is. And with Joseph's background on children and development of children, you're going to you kind of see some of the notes that he gives in, and maybe if you've read more of his material prior, it's going to layer on, I presume, like Magical Child, Magical Parent, etc. I haven't read them yet, but they're on the list. And sorry, so if I come back to this worldview, and then world two view, okay, and then this organization. So the worldview you have has an organization of which you see reality in. So it's a projector of the reality of what you are projecting. So it's like, is the body within you, or are you within the body? What are you thinking? What you know? Take that home. Is it like a factor of, if I only see the color green, am I saying the world's green? Well, to my experience, it is green. But if I have a conversation with the color orange and red, and I never knew about that, and then they show me from their lens what that's like, then I got to pick up those colors through an experience that them showing me, right? So this is like what he's doing in the book. You get an experience of people can walk in this fire, people have telepathy, or people have these different intuition knowings, like the Aboriginals, of like, yeah, water that way, or yeah, the storm's going to come, or whatever it might be. They just move, they just know. They're so in tune. But it's so foreign to this logical, rational mind of the Western culturedness, I would say, or if you'd rather say that. Now, another big theme that came for this as a takeaway is that the mythos comes before the logos, right? And in modern day, there's not a big... It's so much logos. It's not a lot of mythos. Okay, so when you hear stories in ancient times, or the Bible, or in a movie sometimes, or whatever it might be, it's like a story gets you to like be in that rally, see for what it is, okay, and then you go into that, and you go, whoa. So there's all this like possibility, okay, exactly, all this possibility. Exactly what this book is presenting to you is that there's an expansive amount of realities and lives of which you can do and live in that some people have access to do. So he's kind of making a point that the realities of which, say, Jesus could enter, he was showing others that the capacity for someone to heal was there. The capacity for someone to have a purpose or be more than what they were, it plays out, okay? And you go along these heroic journeys, you go along these trial and errors, okay? But the whole point of that is, more than likely, if you went out and you did something that people go, that's a bit risky, but you were the calling to go do that thing, that universal mind plays into this, right? So it's really talking about that intuition. It's beyond the logic, but it's intuition, right? It's an intelligence that's beyond you. Or seeming, if you want to identify as you, right? But it's something. Something came to you, got you to do that thing, that beyond it, you just knew that was the thing to do, right? And you just think about those instances for you, and these other levels of things that we deem probably higher have came up and have happened for others, okay? And it's really seeing that there's so much opportunity, so much things that can happen for people if they let go of this ego that wants to carry on because it's safe in their egg of the world. And that view, they don't want that to be cracked, or the ego doesn't want to be cracked to get to that next level. But some prerequisites to be kind of more spiritual instruments, so to say, is like, for example, you might have in certain traditions where they will fast, and then a lot of people say, oh, I feel a lot better, I feel a lot more spiritual, I feel like I'm closer to God, or whatever it might be. Then they feel like it's a cleanse, it's a detox, right? But what about the cleanse or the detox of you getting to the next level? What could the prerequisite look like? And then Don Juan had said to Carlos, you got to let go of that self, you got to let go of that ego, and then what that does is breed the new one. So it's like the dragon or the serpent around the tree of knowledge. It's there, okay, it's there. Know this story of the mythos, that it's there, and you're ascending towards something with a purpose, and with that, just know that there might be this barrier in between you and getting there. But you pass this barrier, and what happens? What happens is, right now, you think whatever that might be for you right now, you might go, yeah, it could hold this opportunity for me, it could hold this rally for me, okay? So you're thinking right now, man, Kevin, posting the video is absolutely crazy to me, okay? Imagine that's it. Then you go, okay, that's the barrier right now, is you getting in front of that camera to just take a video all of yourself, to then what? look at a video of yourself talking that may help others. So it's like with this book review, right? Some might look at this book and go, yeah, actually, I've been holding on to this thing where I'm shackled down and I just feel like the environment is not prosperous for what I want to do in life. Cool. So what's that cue to do? Maybe get out of that environment and go to something new. So see how in your egg, there's this intuition, pressure building thing to get you up and get you going to this new level. And the buyer is you going, yeah, I'm going to go do that thing. Okay? That's you literally grabbing the serpent and freaking snapping its head and going into that opportunity of life that you can literally unfold. So again, we know about that law of cause and effect. We know that thing of polarity. We also know that you take a step forward in direction of something that is incongruent to where you want to go, or you think it might resonate where you want to go, or that intuition is telling you to go, then you take that step, even though you might feel a bit of resistance, okay? Then a step from the universe or a step from somewhere is going to come in and it will take a step towards you. Then you might have this exchange or this energy exchange of, for example, you could get off doing a video yourself and you go, man, freaking happy I did that video. Awesome. Or I went out today and I went to the gym. I did this thing, right? So I'm getting a bit off the book. I'm getting a bit off the actual theme and the lessons here. But just see that like conventional wisdom is getting conventional results, and clearly if you're getting the set of results that you're getting is due to the conditioning, it's due to the things that you've been exposed to, and that's the results that you're getting. So if you're not happy with the results that you're getting, then maybe something like this or a book or ideas might be the key to unlocking that new part of you that gets you over the barrier of which you're currently experiencing, or gives you an invitation to do that. So this book could be the invitation for you to do that thing for you, okay? Now, again, if you feel like you have a lot of rejection about things, maybe it is really for you, okay? Because sometimes people need this whole scientific thing to believe in stuff. Or you just say, I'm going to be open. I'm going to have the open lens today. I'm going to have the opportunistic lens about going about my life, okay? Now, that changes literally the course of your life if you view it that way about things versus like, oh, that's a bit risky. Already taking the biggest risks of my life, not doing the things that I want to do, and I might only have one life. Anyways, we're getting that big conversation, but that's for another video. Thanks for tuning in, and again, go ahead, any questions below, let me know. If you got any reviews about the book as well and you want to go about, type it down and let's get on it and let's extrapolate these ideas, because again, that's super important for people to express what the ideas were in a book to a friend, to a comment, and you don't want to see your face, or so you don't want to let someone know your face, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're getting that out there of what something was calling for you to get out, right? So hopefully this helps. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the book, and speak soon, and subscribe if you'd like to hear some more. Appreciate it.